Accidents can be thought of in terms of an unwanted energy transfer from a source to the target. Stevenson defines an incident as an unwanted flow of energy. He defines an accident as occurring when this unwanted flow of energy, in the absence of adequate barriers, strikes targets in the energy path and injures people and/or damages property. The concept of preventing unwanted energy transfers to the target is a key component in barrier analysis, MORT, and accident prevention. Barrier analysis is a conceptual cornerstone of the accident process in MORT, Management Oversight and Risk Tree, developed by Johnson in 1973 and updated by Tross and Nertney in 1995 and again by Kingston in 2009. MORT is used to analyze accidents. Barrier analysis is a component of MORT and is also a standalone analysis. The four components in barrier analysis are embodied in Stevenson's definition and include the elements of an unwanted energy flow, a target, less than adequate or LTA barriers, and multiple causes. The four components are considered causal, being both necessary and sufficient for an accident to occur. Barrier analysis was developed and used by large agencies such as the Army Corps of Engineers, Department of Energy, Department of Defense, the Atomic Energy Commission, and NASA. In the model, two operative terms are source and unwanted. Both wanted and unwanted energy flows originate from a source. Much of living involves wanted energy flows and transfers. A camper boils water on a gas stove for dinner. An energy transfer occurs between the burning gas and the pot of water. A whitewater canoeist surfs a wave. Surfing the wave is a form of kinetic energy transfer. Digesting the dinner cooked on the gas stove is an energy transfer where the food is converted to sugar and other nutrients by the body. An energy flow is unwanted when the transferred energy flow potentially results in injury, damage, or loss. As noted, the barriers are less than adequate. If the camper accidentally knocks over the pot of boiling water, the boiling water creates an unwanted energy flow that can harm the target. For example, thermal. Surfing the wave is fun, but the wave can capsize the canoeist and lead to an unwanted energy transfer, kinetic or thermal. The consumed food could be tainted, resulting in indigestion, diarrhea, or other illnesses. For example, toxic pathogenic. Often used in the literature is the term hazard or danger rather than source. Obviously, hazards and dangers can create potential unwanted energy transfers. However, the previous examples with the stove, surfer, and food demonstrate that the same source can create both wanted and unwanted energy transfers. The key point is that by focusing on hazards and dangers, unwanted energy sources that can emanate from wanted sources are potentially ignored. Wanted energy sources should also be examined for potential sources of unwanted energy flows. Stevenson lists typical sources of energy flows. In the outdoor area, flammable materials, kinetic, thermal, and toxic pathogenic energy flows would most likely be found. Starting with identifying potential unwanted energy flows and transfers, numerous worksheets have been developed. Generally, these worksheets originate with the MORT materials. The worksheet used in the next section was developed by this author. A quick examination of the worksheet reveals the basic components of barrier analysis. First, identify the source of the potential unwanted energy transfer. Next, identify the target. The third column identifies the potential barriers and controls that can be implemented. The last two steps identify the purpose of the barrier and its practicality or limitations. As noted, this worksheet incorporates the basic barrier analysis components and is close to the original MORT form. The barrier can be placed on the source of the energy flow. It can be placed between the source and the target. It can be placed on the target. And the target and source can be separated from each other by time and space. Hayden lists 10 steps for reducing energy transfer from the source to the target. The steps are consistent with MORT. The steps illustrate the creation of barriers that focus on energy flows. The previous stove, kayak, surfing, and digestion examples are used to illustrate his 10 steps. Prevent the marshalling, or do not produce or manufacture the energy. In the examples used, have a cold dinner, or skip surfing the wave. Reduce the amount. Choose a smaller wave to surf, or test the food before eating it. Prevent the release of the energy. Design a stove and pot that can't topple. Modify the rate of release of the energy flow, choosing a smaller wave that slows down the reaction time of the paddler. Separate in space or time. Keep people out of the kitchen while operating the stove, i.e. space, or begin breakfast while the campers are still asleep, i.e. time. Interpose a material barrier. Place a protected board between the stove and cook, or require wearing long pants and shoes while in the kitchen. Modify shock concentration surfaces. Choose a friendly wave to surf. Strengthen the target. Wear a life jacket or increase the knowledge and skill of the paddler. Limit the damage. Choose a wave with a safe washout, or sample the food first. Rehabilitate persons and objects. Refurbish the stove, repair the canoe and equipment, get adequate rest. Returning to Stevenson's definition of an incident and accident, unwanted energy flows and their potential transfer to a target are a key component in the accident process. Barrier analysis is simply the process of placing barriers that, unfortunately, are less than adequate between the source of the unwanted energy flow and the target. Barriers can be placed on the energy source and the target also. Understanding and identifying potential unwanted energy flows are key to understanding accidents and the accident process, where accidents can be viewed as unwanted energy transfer.